Believe it or not, I have a whole drawer of the worst makeup products of 2021. Thankfully, there's not much in it, but I do have a whole drawer dedicated to it. Hey there, gorgeous, and a very happy drugstore December to you. In this video, I'm sharing the worst of 2021 makeup that I tried this past year. Now, if you want to see the video on the best makeup that I tried this past year, that one will be linked for you below also. But if you want to hear about the bad, the ugh, and the ugly, I got you covered. First product I have to share with you that was just ugh in 2021 was the Flower Lift and Sculpt Face Palette. I had high hopes for this one. It went on beautifully. The pigment was really strong with the contour, the blush, and the highlighter, and everything looked great on initial application. It was after having worn it all day was where I got disappointed because it faded. It completely disappeared. And I tried this one over the top of several foundations, all with the same result. Faded, gone, disappeared. Why? I don't know. Another big dud from this past year was the Jason Wu Translucent Powder. This one does not last long on oily skin. It fell apart. It looked terrible. It did not last for longer than I want to say 4 hours at the most. For being a powder that's supposed to set and lock everything in place, I really expected more from this product, so I was sorely disappointed by this one. Another, we're gonna be doing that face a lot in this video. The NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. Now, this is a pen that is supposed to provide defined brow-like hair strokes in the brows, but it did not do that. The detail with the pen was not sharp at all. It provided more of a blurred application, and the formula was a little too, I don't want to say runny, but it wasn't sharp. It didn't provide sharp strokes. And so when you applied it, it looked like you were clumping product into the brows. And I mean, it's a great quality product in terms of what it looks like on the brows, but if you're trying to get those defined brow-like hair strokes with the pen, you're not going to get it. It lacks the detail needed. And I think the reason that I was so disappointed in this one was because the Urban Decay Brow Blade was so great, and that one does provide very sharp detail, very precise strokes compared to this one. And so I was comparing it to that one. And I think when you experience something like that, you start to compare other things to it, and that's what I did. So, I mean, if you only tried the NYX pen, you might like it, but for me, I wanted more precision, and it just was not there. This next product I may be in the minority on, but I did not like it, and those were the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. What I didn't like about these was how tedious they were to apply. I found myself having to do a lot of finagling, a lot of manipulation on my skin to get the product to apply evenly. It didn't look that great after I applied it. I felt like the colors were a little too red leaning rather than being more of a cool toned shade like they should have been. And by the end of the day, they faded. And it didn't matter what foundation I tried them over the top of, they all faded. And I was not so happy with these. Compared to the Putty blushes, which are really great, by the way, these were really disappointing. Also from e.l.f., I wanted to mention these because in the original video where I had talked about this collection, I couldn't mention these because it was a sponsored video, and when you do sponsored videos, they don't like it for you to mention products you don't like. So what I do is I don't mention products if I don't like them. I will only mention the products that I do like, and then I'll save the products I don't like for videos like this one. So yeah, that's just how I do it. This was from the Electric Mood collection, and these were the shadow crayons, and they came in 2 different shades. I'm not really sure what shades they were, but it was like a 2-pack, a duo that came together as part of that collection. And these were not of the same quality as their other shadow sticks. The other shadow sticks that they make are really great, and I've not had any issues with those. Something just was different about these. The formula was off. They creased horribly. I mean, I couldn't even get these to wear well over an eyeshadow primer. They looked awful. And the quality was not there. So I don't know if this was a rushed collection and they just didn't take time with the formula, but they were terrible. Milani. Okay. Milani, I love you. I do. I have a heart for you, but you really, I don't know what you were thinking with this product. Keep It Full Lip Plumpers. Oh, lordy be. Talk about wanting to soak your lips in milk. They're lip plumpers, so you expect that they're going to have some stinging associated with them, but my gosh, these burned my lips. My lips actually got inflamed from having used these products. They were swollen. I mean, I felt like my lips were completely injured after having used these lip plumpers. They were not comfortable on the lips whatsoever. The first one I applied, I hadn't even had it on for 2 seconds and I wanted to wipe it off because it felt like my lips were on fire. So really horrible, horrible products. I did not enjoy them at all. I don't recommend them. I know some people on that video, when I initially talked about them, said, oh, they weren't so bad. I tried them. Well, I'll just say use at your own discretion because, whoa, Nelly. Too Faced products. Ugh. Ugh. The LA Girl Tinted Foundation, which I put back in the box for some reason, probably because it was that bad. I was reminding myself not to ever use it again. And the Maybelline Fit Me Tinted Moisturizer. Ugh, horrible. Absolutely horrible. The problem with the Fit Me one was that it went on beautifully. I mean, okay, that's not a problem. It was a good thing. At the end of the day was the problem. It separated, it rubbed away, it fell apart. My face looked so terrible at the end of the day after having worn this one all day. And I tested this one several times, by the way. I made sure I didn't leave the house on a couple of those days. It was awful. I didn't feel beautiful when I wore it. It just, ugh. Same thing with the LA Girl Tinted Foundation. I've normally had great success with LA Girl products in the past when it comes to their face products anyway. This one was just as bad as the Maybelline one. It separated. From what I remember with this one, I couldn't get it to blend into the skin evenly. It looked like it was sitting on top of the skin, and it was an unnatural finish, which I really just don't care for anymore. I want something that looks skin-like, and that wasn't it. Along those same lines, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. You know how much I love the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. That was my go-to for a while. We're talking like a couple years ago. I expected the same kind of quality with the powder, right? Wrong. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. It did nothing to extend the wear time of makeup on my face. It fell apart after about 5 hours of wear, which is really, really... I mean, come on. For drugstore powders, I have some drugstore powders that go upwards of 10 hours. That was just ridiculous, especially for one that's called Can't Stop, Won't Stop. You did stop and you do stop. If there could be a product that I was most disappointed by this past year, it would be this one. And that was the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner. I went into this with high expectations because e.l.f. products are normally pretty good, and it's really hard to find one that isn't good. I mean, that's why when I find a bad e.l.f. product, I'm kind of surprised by it. But this one was just, why? What I didn't like about it was they stuck this heavy chemical perfume smell into this brush cleaner. So when you cleaned your brushes, that scent stuck in your brushes, and it didn't fade either. It was there to the point where I had to wash my brushes to get the scent out, and it was putrid. Ugh! I don't know why they decided to do that with this product. I don't need a strong chemical perfume scent in my brush cleaner. I mean, just give me soap. You know, I just need soap. This past year, Wet n Wild came out with a number of different collections, and the Saved by the Bell one, even though I was excited for the nostalgia of it, left me disappointed in a lot of the products. And specifically the eyeshadow palette, I just expected more from this one. And I didn't really care for the shade range in this palette. I can't even open it to show it to you. Open. There we go. It just got lost in translation somewhere. The quality of the eyeshadows was not what we have come to know and respect about Wet n Wild eyeshadows, and I just, it felt out of place. I just really did not love it, and it's probably not going to be a palette that I will ever use again. Those were my worst discoveries from 2021. Let me know what some of yours were. Were there any makeup products that just really disappointed you, or ones where everybody loved them and you didn't and you just felt like, why? Feel free to share below because we love you. We will support you. You can say anything here. We won't judge you. If you are interested in any of the products that I shared with you in today's video, don't buy them. I'll have them listed below, but I will not link them. Thanks for being here, for taking the time to watch. I sincerely appreciate you and your support, and I look forward to seeing you again next time for another video in Drugstore December. There will be a video coming out on Friday, the last day. But yeah, see you soon.